In the first week of October 2019, homeowner Valerie Dingwall, was not here in court today, but was here last week, hired an unlicensed worker, Mr. Rodolfo Sanchez, to perform a job that required a license under the law. That job included cutting down 2 big trees on a project worth over $500. And before Mr. Sanchez started doing this job, Ms. Dingwall didn't warn him that hidden in one of the bushes that he was supposed to cut, in addition to those 2 big trees, was a thin metal wire that was embedded in the back of one of those bushes, trying to hold it up. So when Mr. Sanchez came through with his chainsaw, he didn't know to look for that metal wire, that metal rod, and it struck the rod, causing the chain on the end of the chainsaw to come off, recoil backwards, and seriously injure Mr. Sanchez. Now, this case is not about Mr. Sanchez's serious injuries, surgery, future treatment, lost wages, anything like that. This case is just about who's responsible for those injuries. And you're allowed to hire someone who's not licensed, but if you do that, if you hire somebody who's not licensed, they need to get compensated if they get injured while performing the job for you. They need to get compensated through workers' compensation insurance. But if they don't, they get injured, they were working on this job for you, it's a job that otherwise requires a license, under these special California rules, which the judge will tell you about later, that makes the person who hired the individual the employer. And there's a presumption that any injury that arises while that worker is working for the employer, we're to presume that it's the employer's fault because they hired this unlicensed person. And it's their responsibility to overcome that presumption by showing that their client, the homeowner, wasn't actually negligent. But you're going to hear here that in this case, that there are certain responsibilities that a responsible employer needs to take to their employee. And once again, this is the homeowner stepping into the shoes of the employer. Those include things like giving safety inspections. Those include things like providing proper safety equipment. And most importantly, it includes identifying hazards, warning about those hazards, and removing them if possible. But because none of that happened here, the evidence is going to show that Ms. Dingwall is responsible because she hired an unlicensed worker to perform a job that required a license under the law, cutting down a 15-foot tree on a project worth more than $500.